Welcome to the pond, my fellow quacks and quackettes. I am Stueyduck from Quack Attack Gaming, and I am here to throw a few morsels of bread-like wisdom your way and answer some of your questions you didn't ask. So you want to replay Darksiders? I would highly recommend playing this game. It holds up surprisingly well since its original 2010 release, especially if you're a fan of the classic arcade brawler action akin to the likes of Devil May Cry or the original God of War games. Throw in a sprinkling of classic Zelda formula and you have a fun, engaging video game that feels as modern as any arcade brawler found today. I cannot say how much of an influence the modern God of War franchise took from Darksiders, but there is many similarities between the two titles that I definitely had not noticed before. From things such as level design to the quick travel serpent tunnels, which eerily resemble the same form of quick travel method found in the God of War 2018 game.
Are you not entertained?
So why should you play Darksiders? Well, because it is a tight and concise 15 or so hour adventure that throws many interesting moments and gameplay elements at the player. The game's structure is that of a Metroidvania Zelda-like, where you will return to older areas with newer abilities and items to progress. However, Darksiders is not afraid to shake up the formula to keep you on your toes. From puzzle dungeons to on-rail shooter segments, the player will always be engaged and will always have something to do. The enemy encounters are fun and varied and will test the player while still being simple enough to mash on when the opportunity presents itself. Especially with the inclusion of one of my favorite video game buttons, the fuck you button, that will grab and mutilate smaller mobs with ease. Along with your generic zombie-like enemies, you'll encounter ranged, flying, rushing, heavy variants to name a few, as well as a smattering of larger-than-life boss fights that require thought as well as skill, using your recently earned weapons or items to defeat.
Since the dawn of time, the armies of heaven and hell have waged an endless war.
The story itself, being the game's greatest shortfall, is not necessarily bad or boring, but rather bland and of its era. Video game storytelling is definitely where Darksiders' aged wrinkles start to show. It serves the purpose, however, of allowing War, the main character, to pound on fools, so it's definitely not a negative on the overall experience. But those expecting a more introspective look into religion or the mythos of the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse will not find it here. I played the War Mastered Edition on PlayStation 5, where I had access to the performance 60 frames per second mode. This allowed for the game's combat and responsiveness to feel snappy and really satisfying. One that can stand up to the likes of the biggest titles in this genre. To sum up my opinions on Darksiders War Mastered Edition, this is a game that if you haven't played or have been aching to play again, I can highly recommend giving it a play. It has stood the test of time. If you have enjoyed this video and wish to see more content like this, then click on that subscribe and like buttons, and do drop a comment below. Have you played Darksiders? Was it recent? Tell us what you think below.
there were a few young ones. Spectacular.